Well, I think we're at this point where we've seen it's been a tumultuous period, and there is both potential, upside strong potential gains as well as downside risk as well. And so, for instance, right now, only China has retaliated against us for agriculture.
Right.
This can easily broaden. So our other two key markets, Mexico and Canada, we're not facing any retaliatory tariffs there at the moment. Europe previously threatened us. We haven't seen that. And again, we have at least a 10% tariff virtually on every single one of our trading partners. Right now, only China has retaliated. If that broadens, like how we saw in 2018 and 19, that could make things really, really bad. So we only face one. On the flip side, there is potential opportunities for gains. Obviously, if we have a deal with China, that would really, really help agriculture. They're in the midst of their negotiations, very, very tough negotiations. Again, back in 2020, we had the phase one deal. That just shot up our markets. We have these other negotiations with other major trading partners, Japan, Indonesia, Vietnam. There are a lot of efforts to make sure that agriculture gets expanded opportunities. If we can get all of that, that's going to be a huge win for agriculture. So main thing is we don't know where it's going to go, right? We're at this period where it can go really bad or it can actually go really good. So I think that's just one thing to keep in mind. It's a wild card at this point.
But I think you and a lot of other folks have said there's no replacement for China. If we don't have China, Africa's not going to bring anything in, and there's just no single replacement.
Right. I mean, China is among our top 3 trading partners. Previous years we've seen them import 20, 30, upwards of almost $40 billion. There is nobody that can replace that overnight, unless if we have that trade deal. There's just not a short-run option. I mean, we obviously still have to continue looking at developing those markets. That's what this administration is doing. But I don't think anybody can think of something that could replace that market right now, as we are having, potentially these negotiations. If things go bad, then yes, there's nobody that can replace China. India's not going to replace China. Africa's not going to replace China at this moment.
And as we talk to China, China's still buying from Brazil. They just bought a $20 billion worth of U.S. credit products from Argentina.
Yeah, that's right.
It seems like China's just kind of just disregarding the U.S.
Right. So yeah, they have bought 35 or 40 shipments from Argentina. That does get them more of a runway without U.S. soybeans.
Right.
Some say till November. There's questions of whether they can basically shun our supply the rest of the year. That's debatable. But again, we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, China is making moves. Other countries are making moves too, right? I mean, as there's these tensions, you can't blame our partners for trying to look at other sourcing opportunities. I mean, it is part of just how the global dynamics work between these trade negotiations. Whenever we push somebody away, they'll look at other markets. That's a given. Same thing like us. We are looking at alternative markets, right, with other partners outside of China, with Asia, with throughout the world. And so, this is just these type of interplay between partners and competitors. It's always been the case. Just right now, so much of it is happening at the same time.
And you also had painted a pretty good picture of really how farmers themselves are hurt by this.
Right.
Because of cost of production have
Cost of
gone
production.
up because of
Yeah.
tariffs on fertilizer.
Uh-huh.
Prices on grain has gone down because of diminished markets.
Diminished markets, yeah.
The farmer right now is bleeding pretty bad.
Right. Yeah. Particularly on the crop side. Livestock side is doing well,
Right.
right? Cattle prices are high. Crop side, again, estimates out there upwards of $200 a loss per an acre for corn, more than $100 for soybeans. Very, very steep losses. This is, brings us back to the previous decade where we did have this very weak point. Low commodity prices. Then the big issue is that, of course, we have these high production costs, and that is the main challenge facing our crop sector. Right, we have these shortfalls. Some estimates of $45 billion for the new crop for the crop sector. Farmers are in trouble. That's clear. Everybody knows that. Yeah.
Do you see Congress or anybody running to help out at this point?
I mean, there's certainly been a lot of discussions on that. There does seem to be a big push. We hear it. Everybody hears it in terms of, in terms of what Congress is saying. They're both, on the House and the Senate side, there is a movement in that direction. Farmers are doing, they are suffering, and it's due to a multitude of factors. Trade is just one of them. High production costs, low commodity prices. There will be a challenge, though, if there is another ad hoc support program. I mean, there is that question of, well, how do you allocate these payments, the size of it, how do you distribute it evenly? It raises a whole host of challenges. There's obviously budget constraints too. So we're going to have to see. I mean, it seems to be more of a question of when rather than if, but nothing is guaranteed at this point as well.
The White House has indicated that it's going to take some of this great tariff money that we're bringing in, and that farmers are really kind of paying some of that themselves and taking it from one pocket and putting it back in another.
Right. There is some of that discussion. I mean, again, it's very complicated, right? If the Supreme Court could strike down these IEEPA tariffs later this year, what will happen? Whether they'll have to give back the money, we don't know. I mean, what's clear is that there's just tremendous uncertainty, right? I mean, a farmer right now, they're cash crunched. It's never comforting to feel that you're going to be dependent upon a support program that they don't know what's going to happen. So it's not an enviable position to be in. That's obvious.